Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Welcome to The Ray Taylor Show, where I bring you reviews of the latest movies and TV shows, as well as classic and foreign films. I'm your host, Ray Taylor, and on this podcast, I'll be talking about all things film and television. Whether you're looking for a new show to binge or want to know if that blockbuster is worth the trip to the theater, or just want to hear my thoughts on a classic or foreign film, I've got you covered. So join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for new episodes, and let's dive into the world of film and television together. On today's episode, I am talking about The Wonderful World of Henry Sugar. This came out this year, written and directed by Wes Anderson, based on Roald Dahl's books, writings. Is short film by Wes Anderson on Netflix, a collection of them. So I will be each week talking about a new short film in the collection. This short film starring Ralph Fiennes, Benedict Cumberbatch, Patel, Ben Kingsley, among many other great performances and actors and actresses. In this movie, in this short film, it chronicles a variety of stories. But the main one follows Henry Sugar, who is able to see through objects and predict the future with the help of a book he stole. It's very kind of an interesting thing. I was blown away by this short film. Absolutely blown away. The way Wes Anderson's style is used, along with the like literal narration of reading just straight what Roald Dahl's book was, or the short story was, it works perfectly. The story itself is amazing as well, which I was not expecting for that. That's not only the way this story is told, which Wes Anderson, very unique style, but adds even more unique elements to this with the literal narration that's going on. But the story itself is great. Every element of this short film was amazing. Blew my mind. It has great heart and a great message. In many ways, this is perfection. This is a masterpiece. I can't wait to see the other three short films that Wes Anderson did. This is one of the best. This one here, since I haven't watched the other ones yet, is a masterpiece. It is insane. It is insane how good it is. With all that said, this is a story about being dedicated to a skill and how that can change who you are. Not only learning the skill, but the act of being dedicated and spending years of your life to hone and perfect an ability can change who you are fundamentally, right? Spending your life in pursuit of improving and mastering of a thing can help elevate the person you are, right? The practice and the power of meditation and mindfulness is a big aspect of this. The arc of the main character, Henry Sugar, is amazing. Right? Starting off doing things for selfish reasons, only to have that pursuit, that selfish pursuit, ultimately change who he is. Change you on a fundamental level, his pursuit. Right? There is a magic in this short story, right? A magic in many forms, and I loved every different mixture of it. Part of me wishes that this short story was fleshed out into an epic film about Henry Sugar. But at the same time, I don't know if you could ever have the same impact the way that you get with the way it's told in this short film. Like, I would love to see it fleshed out. This could easily be like an epic film, this story. But I don't know how impactful it would be in comparison to this short film. amazing. This is just one example of Wes Anderson's style working perfectly with the writing. I mean, I'm excited to see what the other short films, all based on Roald Dahl, but which I'm probably mispronouncing his name. But I think it's the perfect marriage with Wes Anderson's style. I think it's way better than his own writing, which just doesn't have the same flavors that this story has. So to see him take on these stories and use his visual style and his directorial style to tell these stories is a perfect marriage, and it works beautifully. Let's take a short break from this episode. Listeners, if you're an art lover like I am, or simply someone who appreciates unique creativity, I've got something you'll adore. Dive into the world of The Many Faces, an ongoing series of mesmerizing ink paintings on paper. Each piece is a captivating blend of abstract and surreal, always presenting a face that tells its own story. The dedication behind this series is unmatched, with new paintings being released daily. And if you're thinking about owning one, you're in luck. You can start with a 4x6 painting for just $20. Original paintings. And if you desire something grander, there are larger sizes available with prices to match. Imagine having an original piece of art, infused with emotion and mystery, gracing your space. So if you're intrigued, don't wait. Go check out the entire collection and get your own at inspireddisorder.com. Own a piece of creativity that truly stands out. Now let's get back to the show. But I do want to talk about spoilers, specific moments of this short film, specific aspects of it. So if you haven't seen it, it is a short film. I don't know exactly how long the short film is, but it's short. Maybe like 40 minutes. Watch it. Watch it. It's on Netflix. And come back and listen to my thoughts on it. If you don't mind being spoiled, then stick around, because that's what I'm going to do. I love the staging of this, right? It like so many Wes Anderson stuff, there's like layers of how each thing is framed, where there's somebody giving a presentation, and then within the presentation, we are seeing the Wes Anderson movie unfold. In the Asteroid City, there were multiple layers. The story about the writer who wrote the story that the movie is being, but the movie is like a play going on within it. The way it's used in this is perfect, right? You have the actor playing Roald Dahl telling the story about the book, that the wonderful story of Henry Sugar, which I think that's the name. And then when he's telling it, we see that play out as Wes Anderson does. And we get this literal narration by characters talking to the camera, narrating things that are happening. And within Wes Anderson's style, it works perfectly. I don't know how you could break the fourth wall in this way, have this literal narration in any other kind of style, and it work. But because Wes Anderson has this diorama feel, this like pop-up book feel, this feel of like imaginative stage play looking to how everything is set up, it works perfectly for how this is told. It's kind of amazing. Like I said, has like a pop-up book vibe to it. The environment's changing around characters. Costumes being changed on camera has very much the theatrical, like play kind of feel to it. And then the story of a rich man, right, telling the story from this book, right? First off, we're being told about this rich guy who's just kind of floats through life, doesn't really have a direction. He's rich and he likes to spend money and he does these things, and he goes into a library and he finds a book. And in this book, which the rich man talks about, the book is about this guy, this yogi, who developed a way to see without his eyes. And this rich guy wants to use that to cheat at card games. So selfish reasons, right? And you have these costumes and makeup changes as the story is being told. Sometimes there's miniatures, like stop motion, like while people are talking to camera above them, there's like these little scenes of these like miniatures that are, the Wes Anderson stop motion that are kind of showing aspects of the story above the person who's narrating it to camera. It's just so beautiful and so inventive and so creative. Then the story of how the person, we see how this yogi learned how to see without his eyes, using meditation, a daily exercise for years to develop, right? To develop this ability to see without his eyes. And then once he figured out how to do it, and like it's also about him he does these exhibitions on stage, traveling, and every new city he goes to a doctor and has them bandage up his eyes so that the people know that he's not just doing a trick, that he can actually see without his eyes. So it shows him going to the doctor's office where Dev Patel is one of the doctors, and he's mesmerized by this guy's ability and asks this yogi to tell him how he was able to do it. And the day after he finishes telling this doctor everything he did, which the doctor's writing in the book. That book is the book that the rich guy found in the library. The day after, the yogi dies, right? So the rich guy steals the book, right, in order to learn how to see without his eyes, and thinking that it would change his life. He's going to be even richer, right? And his only goal was to read cards. That's the whole thing. So then he became dedicated to learning, practicing multiple times a day, doing even like he was more driven and passionate than even the yogi was. And then when he gained the ability, he worked to refine it, to become more efficient, to be faster, to not only just see through the cards, but he has to see through the cards fast. So it's like he spent years, even after getting the ability, perfecting the ability. And then he went to gamble, and the scene he's playing blackjack, he hits on 19, knowing that a 2 is next up, and everybody's astounded, drew attention, right? He won lots of money. Let's take a quick break from the show. Listeners, are you ready to take your experience with the Ray Taylor Show to the next level? Dive into Inspired Disorder Plus for just $5 a month. You unlock a world of premium content that's sure to satisfy your every entertainment and artistic craving. Imagine enjoying the Ray Taylor Show, a full week completely ad-free in both audio and video formats. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Get exclusive access to live painting archive, be the first to lay eyes on the new releases from the many faces, and enjoy members-only discounts and deals that'll have you coming back for more. With a treasure trove that includes a podcast back catalog boasting 14 unique shows and over 600 episodes, personal insights through my own personal blog, creative writing to spark your imagination, and interactive Ask Me Anything section. Inspired Disorder Plus is a feast for the curious mind. Ready to elevate your entertainment game? Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and become a member of an exclusive club. Dive in, indulge, and inspire your senses. Now let's get back to the show. And then he gets home not feeling well, And he sees, as he, in the process of learning this ability, he looks at himself in the mirror and he can see through himself. Like an X-ray, but more clear. Because he can see he can see through things. And he sees that he has a blood clot. Right? And eventually he knows he's going to die from that. And it's just like the process of learning absolutely changed him into a new person, right? Who had different values, valued life differently. Understanding now that he could effortlessly get money. Money doesn't mean the same anymore. And he just starts throwing it out the window, kind of gets in trouble for causing a riot from throwing money out the window. So then he decides what can he do with this ability to make the world a better place. Now that he has this ability, the only thing that feels he's drawn to is doing good in the world. So he decides to travel and gamble around the world and give it away, build children's hospitals and orphanages, right? And the next 20 years, that's what he does. 20 years, built so many children's hospitals, orphanages, right? And the way the story is told is so unique, but also exactly Wes Anderson. The story was super interesting and positive. The arc of this directionless rich guy finding a path for selfish reasons, but in dedication to learning this skill, it completely changed him. It changed what gambling meant to him. It changed what money meant to him. And he became enlightened and chose to use his power for good while he was still alive. And part of me, hearing just him traveling in different disguises with a makeup artist to get him in different disguises so he can go from town to town, winning all of this money to build orphanages. I want to see that movie. Part of me wants to see that movie, right? I want to see that fleshed out in a grounded way, right? I want to see what Henry Sugar's path was through everything. I want to see it extended out, fleshed out, right? See who the person was before, the journey of him learning this skill, and then the adventure of going to different countries, wearing different disguises, right? But then thinking about that, I don't know how compelling it would be without someone chasing him, right? Like Catch Me If You Can. If you're just seeing him dress up and go win a bunch of money, I don't know where the drama would be. You'd have to add stuff, and then I don't know how good it would be, right? Or add some love story in it between him and maybe the makeup artist. I don't know how you could do it to make sure it's interesting, but the story itself, amazing. I wouldn't hate if somebody tried to flesh that out into a full movie. Maybe they have, and I just don't know. But it's amazing, right? I'm happy with this version, right? It blew me away at how well Wes Anderson's style, along with just the flat-out narration, how well that works, right? I'm so excited to watch the other 4 short films in the series, right? This was a true work of art, a perfect marriage between Wes Anderson's style and Roald Dahl's writing. Loved it. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode of The Ray Taylor Show. I do hope you enjoyed my thoughts on this short film. Don't forget to tune in on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for more movie and TV show reviews. And join the conversation by leaving a comment or rating on your favorite podcast platform, as well as youtube.com/Inspired Disorder, where all these episodes are available in video form. Until next time, enjoy the show. Subscribe to The Ray Taylor Show on YouTube and everywhere podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Purchase Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.